People you talking about, they spent money on white women. They set up bars and they went playing pool and golf for $1,000 a hole. And they were known to make millions and millions when there wasn't no high taxes. And they were not hindered by white America. They were allowed to see the white America is completely and close all the doors on me. I'm not allowed to work in America, out of America. I was stopped right in my prime just when I started making money. So you can't compare me with nobody like Joe Lewis or nobody.
And if you are black, if you are brown, if you are indigenous, and if you are poor, this system is rigged and it is rotten to the core, and we gonna unbreak it. That's it. And that's all.
That other kind of socialism that revolutionizes the workplace, brings democracy to the workplace for the first time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Radical Democracy Show. I'm your host, Kamali Rose, here with some positive breaking news. Michigan has decided to finally, criminally charge ex-governor Rick Snyder for his role in the Flint water crisis. This is a long time coming, and, could potentially lead to some justice for the residents of Flint, Michigan. I mean, nothing can undo the damage that was dealt to them, but holding these people accountable could deter others from doing such atrocious things in the future. And so I am totally supportive of and happy to see that they finally have done this. This was reported in the Associated Press just within the last few hours. This was reported. We can take a look here at an article out of the Associated Press again. Michigan plans to charge ex-Governor Snyder in Flint water probe. So you can see here, this was again just posted within the last few hours here, and I'll just read a bit from this article. Former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, his health director, and other ex-officials have been told they're being charged after a new investigation of the Flint water scandal, which devastated the majority Black city with lead-contaminated water and was blamed for a deadly outbreak of Legionnaire's disease, the Associated Press has learned. Two people with knowledge of the planned prosecution told the AP on Tuesday that the Attorney General's office has informed defense lawyers about indictments in Flint and told them to expect initial court appearances soon. They spoke to the AP on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly. The AP could not determine the nature of the charges against Snyder, former Health Department Director Nick Lyon, and others who were in his administration, including Rich Baird, a friend who was the governor's key troubleshooter while in office. Courtney Covington Watkins, a spokeswoman for the Attorney General's office, said only that investigators were, quote, working diligently and will share more as soon as we're in a position to do so. All right. So, we don't know the exact nature of the charges at this moment, but we do know that they will be charging Rick Snyder, former governor. He's been out of office for about 2 years now. I believe he's a fellow at Harvard or whatever the hell it is. So he's got that, whatever. And I mean, this has caused untold damage. Check out Status Quo. Jordan Sheraton and Status Quo have done exceptional reporting on this issue. Shout out to them and all the work that they do on this. Honestly, they've continued to cover this, through diligent investigative journalism, covering the story on the ground, speaking with residents. In the years after this stopped being politically, expedient and convenient to do so, they stayed on the ground. They covered the story. They followed the story and have stuck with it, because this crisis is not just a crisis in Flint, but people are being poisoned. We're being poisoned all around the country. And it typically starts in Black and brown poor communities, but it will extend outward, first into, poor white communities. And then, it will reach, every corner and crack and crevice of this country. Because if it's, capitalism, demands its blood sacrifice. And if there's profit to be made, well, damn it, human health be damned. They will make a profit, right? And, the guilty party in this is Nestle Corporation. Yes, Nestle, that, the sweet chocolate factory makers. Yeah, that Nestle. They have, they went in there. They wanted to use that water. I mean, Flint, Michigan is bordering the largest surface area body of fresh water on the entire planet. All right. There's nobody's closer to a larger source of fresh water than the folks in Flint, Michigan. But somehow, because of greed, corporate greed, and not just corporate greed, right? Because corporations work hand in hand in this case, right? We see private corporations working hand in hand with government officials. I thought that was what fascism looked a little like, to harm their communities, right? So these communities, right? In a move that is about profit, right? About making profit, right? This is, again, long time coming, way overdue, but it is promising to see. At least, they're taking the steps, doing what's necessary to try to bring these people to justice. They should be charged criminally. They caused the deaths, not just death. I mean, they've caused deaths of people, right? I mean, people have died from this. Children are being born with all kinds of neurological disorders. This is going to do, generational damage. This has a generational impact, right? That this will be doing harm in these communities for generations to come. All right. And people need to be held to account for that, right? We charge a little drug dealer selling some weed, worse than we charge a person that literally poison children. I mean, they poison children. All right. And so they have to be held to account here. And I'm glad to see something happening in that vein. Right. So it is good to see something coming of this. We don't know exactly what the charges are yet. I've searched around, cannot find, they are not publicly reporting on what exactly the charges are, but I'm sure we're going to hear about those in the coming days. So, we'll keep an eye on the story. We will continue to try to follow this and bring you updates on it, but just wanted to bring this initial, breaking news on this, and just, I'm happy to see it and want to make sure that we're all informed, know what's going on. So, that's that. Please, if you haven't done so already, do me a favor and do us a favor. Hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel, share this on social media. Help us spread the word. If you can afford to do so, and only if you can afford to do so, please support our channel. We desperately need support. We are independent Black left media. We do not have the funding yet to sustain, and it grows more and more difficult every day. So we need financial support. We need financial backing from, everyday people, $1 at a time. If you can just support us with just $1 donation, please, if you can afford to do so, please do it. You can tip us on Coffee, ko-fi.com/radical democracy. We prefer the tips there because more goes to us directly. And you can also tip us on, you can become a recurring member on Patreon as well. If you're already on Patreon, patreon.com/radical democracy. Links to those are in the description box below. So please do not hesitate. Open up that description box, click a link, and just drop us $1. Big shout out, massive shout out to our, amazing comrade X for their recent contribution. They contributed $15 up upgraded their monthly contribution to $15, helped us get over our goal. We were trying to raise some funding for better lighting for the studio here. I mean, my studio is my bedroom, y'all, for now. And so, help us grow and we'll make that happen. We'll dedicate it to X. We'll let you know and keep you posted on that. If you have thoughts about how you'd like to see the money being spent and you're one of our contributors and you'd like to see the money spent a different way, please let us know. We're also interested in creating mutual aid funds, helping our community when they're in need, want to do more around that. So we can talk and we can figure out democratically what we want to do with this funding. So if you have other thoughts, please share your thoughts, particularly, if you're a contributor, would really like to hear how you would like to see this money spent. So we'll do more of that moving forward, asking the community what they would like to see us, fundraise for next. And so, thank you to everyone. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. That's all for now. If you have any thoughts, comments, feel free to leave those in the chat. Do we have any comments that we want to share out here? Let's do it. Tammy says they need to be held accountable to the fullest extent. Totally agree. Wholeheartedly agree. We gotta hold these folks accountable. And Tammy also says this has been dragging out since 2014, and only now they're finally charging Rick Snyder. Still gotta wait and hope for a conviction. Yeah, let's be real here. There's no guarantee about a conviction. I've read quotes from folks that are there in Flint. They do not have a ton of, they're hopeful, but, not overly optimistic that this will ultimately result in justice being served. But for the time being, it is a positive development in the story. And so, hope they continue to push forward with this, hope that these charges are, that they're ultimately convicted on whatever charges they're able to bring. And honestly, I hope that, something along the lines of manslaughter, they should be held to account for killing people, for poisoning people. People need to be held to account for that. So I would like to see them, be held to account for that and be brought to justice on that. So glad to see it. Tammy says, let's not forget Obama's role in this either. Yeah, don't forget about Obama going to Flint, sipping a glass of water from Flint, probably not even tap water, probably freaking, some spring water that they poured into a glass, acting as if, oh, well, if I can drink this water, you all can drink that water, while the poisoning was still ongoing, right? The water, there was still lead in the water. People were still being poisoned. Children were still being poisoned. All right. This is outrageous. We cannot allow this to continue on. People must be held to account for it. Glad to see that happening. All right. Thank you so much to everyone. Please, if you have any thoughts about this and you weren't able to catch it live, just leave your thoughts in the comments below. We read all the comments and try to respond to everything that we can. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you all. Peace.